What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This is gonna be a love reading. Know all my lovers out there, get excited for a love reading. Not really much of an introduction needed today. I guess there was a kind of a message or a vibe coming through. I feel like some of you out there need to pay attention to every version of how someone works hard. I know that sounds like an abstract claim. That's maybe because I haven't fully formed what I'm trying to say in my head. I kind of just received the message from spirit. What I'm trying to say here is that like everyone's version of hard work looks a little bit different. And the more that I speak to different people, you could argue one of the beautiful things about being a human is to see everyone's perspective. But as I've got to know more and more people, I've got to understand more people's perception, understanding, feeling, interpretation of hard work and what that looks like. So yeah, I guess most recently I was speaking to a nurse, and that kind of opened my eyes up to kind of almost like physical hard work, that physical hard work done in kind of a feminine way. Nursing, I'd say, it's debatable, but I'd probably say it's a feminine industry path to walk. But it's physically demanding, of course, as well as being psychologically demanding, possibly even spiritually demanding too. And it kind of just opens your mind up to, like I said, just other people's perspective. There's something kind of weird about it too, because I won't go into that. But all I'm trying to say here is that you can get your eyes open to other people's version of hard work and have respect for it. I think even these videos, right? For anyone who's on the watching side, if you've ever created a piece of content and with all the other demands that you have in your life, you will soon realize that the people out there who are creating content, you will have a respect for it when you start creating content yourself. Like, it's demanding, and it's especially demanding when it's not at a point where, for example, like with me, I'm still I'm doing other things to create my income. So this is an extra thing that is done in my life. When you're creating content and that's just creating your income too, I would argue that's a slightly easier challenge or demand when you're purely starting off. And this channel is by no means just starting off anymore. It's fairly mature now, but I'm just saying that the creation of this content, it takes a toll. It takes energy, and until you actually do that, you never really understand actually what goes into the other side of creating these videos. So big up to anyone out there who's actually got a YouTube channel themselves and are putting content out there. It ain't easy, so remember to give yourself a pat on the back. And for those of you who strive to create content on YouTube, remember that better start today than tomorrow. Just give it a shot. Just put something out there into the ether, and as you continue to do so, that thing will evolve, improve, and I think most importantly, at least for me on this journey of if you pause, you begin to master your craft. You know, I remember when I first started doing these videos, I still haven't researched to see if there's other people doing something similar, but at least when I put my pen to my paper and did what I'm doing right now, which you can see, I was the only person that I'd ever seen anyone do something like this ever. So I'm not sure if I still hold that or if there was someone doing it 100 million years before me. I know there's such things as like scripting and possibly like intuitive drawing, but the way that I kind of encompassed it into like a pick a pile reading and these piles you can't actually grab, like this vibe. I ain't ever seen anything like this on YouTube. So for me, that was my journey of kind of just, what do I want to do here? And it kind of just came out, and I've ran with it ever since. So a little bit of inspiration for you out there. You don't have to come up with anything unique to express yourself in your own way, because we do that naturally just through speaking and sharing. But yeah, I encourage people out there who are hesitant to try their own YouTube channel just to do it. And even when people don't fuck with it, it's still fun. It's still good for you, especially when you're tapping into something intuitive or spiritual. It's just good for your own well-being. I can honestly say that. So, without any further ado, I think that's the saying. Without keeping you waiting any longer, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. This is going to be a love reading. And the specifics of that love reading, I'm not sure yet. But we'll get stuck into pile 1. Okay, pile 1's love reading, or possibly love update. This is gonna be kind of like a blotchy style. I'm getting with this. Jesus, it's so hot in this room. Just trying to cool down my damn hands. Bear with pile 1's. Okay. Um, Vibe. I think something to pay attention to here is, can you see how these hands are just about to touch? They haven't touched yet. So I think that's almost the most important thing in this reading, in fact, is that there's this coming together here, but they haven't touched yet. And I don't know, take this optimistically or pessimistically. This could be a separation. So it could be that they were touching and they were letting go. But I'm getting more of a vibe here of a coming together. It's like there's an energy here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of those cutouts as well, you know, like when you cut the thing out in paper and then you stretch it out and it creates that. So, gosh, you either get what I'm saying or you don't, part ones. It reminds me of that, which I think the key word there was like cut out. So there could be yeah, so when I say cut out, that does sound like separation, doesn't it? Shit. Cut out, like, it could be though, because I got a positive vibe from this. Like, when I'm picturing the energy of these two, like, this would be the masculine and the feminine, I feel like they're looking at each other. It's very slight, but I feel like they're looking at each other. I think they're in love. And it doesn't look like to me like they're looking away from each other. They're not going away from each other. Tell me I'm mad, pile number ones, but they look like they're looking at each other, right? And it looks like they're coming together. They don't look like they've just argued. They look like they're coming to that moment of touching each other. But it does seem to me like they're already in love. This doesn't feel like, to me, someone who you're meeting who's new. So if you are meeting someone who's new in your life, these readings are always for singles, couples, blah, blah, blah. Just take the imagery for how it relates. But if this is someone who you're meeting new, this is someone who you feel like you already know. That's for sure. Like I said, it's like these two are kind of in love. So if you've never met this person, it's going to feel like, I'm not going to say love at first sight. It's more like, if anything, it's more like you've loved this person before in a past life. So that got some confirmation outside there from the bell. Yeah, it's going to have that vibe where if this is not an existing relationship, it's going to have that vibe of you feel like you've been with this person already. So, point number ones, I feel like in order for this relationship to happen, there's been some form of cutting out of other people, other environments, other something. And I think that's where that cutout energy is coming from. So it's like, amongst this noise, you've had to like almost trace around each other in order to make this happen. Blur out what's around you and focus on you two, the cutout. To make this relationship work, you have literally had to cut yourselves out of the surrounding environment, surrounding people. So take from that as you will, part ones. That could be that you don't necessarily have family members who support what you do or your relationship. It might be that, like, I don't know, like an obvious one could be like interracial dating, where you two are from different cultures that might create some conflict in your environment or in your family. Could be an age difference that makes people a bit weird. Do you understand? Like, I can't really think of many other examples, but I do feel like you're having to cut people out. Now, it doesn't mean everyone. The analogy is very harsh when I do talk about this cutting out analogy, because it does seem like you have to cut out everyone, but in a sense it's very true. It's only that just because you're cutting out the external world doesn't mean that there's not people who support you, because I feel like there are people who support you. It's just you've kind of, both of you in this relationship, you've kind of come to terms with, you know, people don't fuck with us, basically. So, yeah, you're doing your own thing. Pile number one's, that's your reading. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. Excuse any clamminess in advance. Space is really hot at the moment. No, I'm going to go back. Sit on the energy a little bit. I've got something coming through, but I need a little bit more confirmation on it. Okay, it's going to be like a blocky style, so prepare yourselves. Okay. Just giving him like a little top hat. In fact, I think she needs one too. Now, any kind of, any clammy sounds in there, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's hot in here, y'all. It's true dedication. Paper be sticking to my hand and shit, sorry. I don't know if you can kind of guess what this is. Pile number twos. Looks to me like a damn proposal. It looks like a damn proposal to me. I thought those things were dead. I thought they were over in 2024, in this modern age. I thought they were dead. But you guys are clearly bringing them back. Now, that's what I see. The masculine on his knee, feminine receiving. But I think it actually counts for more than just a marriage proposal here. Now, I've just sat on this a little bit more, and thank God I did, because I'm actually seeing something different now. Um, I'm seeing a little bit of like, again, this energy switched up real quick. I'm seeing a little bit of a plea. And I tell you why I'm seeing a plea is because the expression of this feminine, can you see, like, she doesn't look too phased. And I know that took a quick turn, part number 2's, and I apologise. But I just gotta be honest, you know, like, I think this is just me, y'all. Like, if I was to ever propose, if I got down on my knee, if my girl ain't crying, like just crying and just shocked and overjoyed at the moment I get down on the knee, I ain't putting out no ring. I'm gonna tie up my shoelaces and go, my bad. That ring's staying in my pocket. Ah, if I get down on the knee and I don't see her eyes welling up, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I was just stretching out. I was just stretching out, B. I was just, I was getting ready for a run. Now, what you got here with this guy is, I think he kind of missed that cue. Like, and I really, shit. If anyone's going through something harsh with their relationship, you don't need me here just cracking jokes. Like, I apologise if it's a sensitive area for people, but it seems to me, yeah, like the masculine here seems to be pleading opposed to just proposing. She's almost looking straight ahead if she's looking at him. It's that kind of look where you're straight ahead but you're looking down with your eyeballs, but you're not even giving that person the decency to actually even look at them properly. It's like the eyeball look, you know, where your eyeballs just move but your head stays straight. And this guy seems somewhat energetic in this position, way more than her. So, like, the flip side of this is this feminine is not necessarily, if you're a feminine watching this doesn't necessarily mean that you're just a cold-hearted bitch. It could be that this masculine in your life fucked up, so you're just not impressed by this bravado that they're pulling now. And it doesn't mean that he's proposing to you. Like, you know, it's drawn, and credit to spirit here, ambiguously, that this could be him like begging, or it could be him having a ring in his hand. Could be anything, you know. He might have a gift in there. Doesn't necessarily mean proposal. Could just mean, I'm really sorry, I'm begging you, you know. So, in defense to the feminine energy here, it doesn't necessarily mean, like I said, you're just being cold-hearted. It could be that he's fucked up and now he's pulling out all the stops in order to win you back over. So that could be what's going on here too, right? The top hats generally represent something. I haven't figured it out completely yet, but they kind of pop up in my readings, and I do feel like they have some form of like symbolic meaning, not just, or let's just say a deeper meaning, right? The more that I do these intuitive drawings, the more that I unlock the code in the messages. So I feel like the hats kind of stand for something sometimes. Um, in this case, I don't know, I feel like it might be like of the same culture or something. I could be wrong there, but like that's what's coming through at the moment, like of the same culture. Um, so yeah, part number two is in terms of advice, and of course, you should never be taking advice from a random guy on the internet talking about intuitive drawings. So if your marriage does fall apart, I take no responsibility. Um, like some advice though, not that you need it, would be on the feminine side, communicate your feelings more, because there's something about you which is too stoic, like a guy. So you need to express your emotions more. You need to speak about how you feel. You put your boundaries up too high. And then the masculine, if you're watching this, you basically need to stop being a simp. Um, I'm not going to say something stupid like man up. It's not really that energy, but um, you need to stop basically trying so hard. You need to, and any feminines watching this, and you know this is hitting the spot, you'd be wise to send this message to, send this video to your partner, because they might be able to learn something from it. But I would say for the guys, I don't want to even use the word simping because I don't think I like that word either. But there's an energy which the man needs to step into, in my opinion, which is let your actions speak. You know, don't be dramatic with things. Don't be over the top. Just let your actions speak, and be patient. Be patient too. So like, if you did fuck up, understand that if you've broken your partner's heart a little bit, like that's gonna take time to heal. So the best thing you can do is, instead of like chasing that forgiveness, is just show it with your actions. Just be there for that person. Sometimes, you know what, like if this was a friend of mine, I would say just take the hit as well. Like, again, I know that's touching on kind of man up energy, which I'm trying to not use, but like just take the hit, as in, yeah, like your partner might be a little bit of a bitch to you due to your actions, but just take it if it's warranted, if it's kind of deserved, and just take the hits. Now, if those hits are still coming to you months later, then you need to cut off the damn relationship. If you've done everything you can, if you've asked for that forgiveness, if you've corrected your ways and you're still getting hit, obviously I'm not talking physical here. Don't condemn physical violence on either side. But take those verbal hits, take those passive aggressive hits, and don't be on your knees while you're doing it. stand up with your shoulders back and your chin up and take it. Just like a bad day in business, just like going to the gym and not performing as well as you want to perform. Just like trying to win a client and losing the client, you got just get on with it, you know? It's that kind of energy. And I mean that with love, pile number twos. If you're listening to this by your own means or you've passed it on to someone, this is all about how you grow with your partner, is by understanding where people's boundaries are, understanding, like, here you go, here's a perfect way to leave you pile twos, is that you quickly realize that when you make a fuck up and that person is still there, that is something to be grateful for in itself. The fact that your partner's still there, they might be pissed off with you, but they're still there. That is actually the win. The fact that they're in a bad mood with you is, you know, obviously it's not the best circumstance to be in, but that's still a beautiful thing. The fact that they're still there, you know. So the masculine in this reading, remember to see the gratitude and the fact that they're still there. They're still trying for you. You've still got the opportunity to strengthen this relationship instead of watching it fall apart. So if you enjoyed the reading, part twos, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, part number threes. Part number threes. Ain't life amazing? Just sitting on the energy. It's going to be like a blocky style today. God help us fit on the page today. Making me dizzy, trying to draw this upside down. Found this really cool restaurant today, Parfreeze. in this random city at the moment, but like came across this restaurant and I swear to you, it was cool as hell. Just goes to show you can find like these magical places in the most random of places. Thank God for that. Never judge a book by its cover kind of thing. I grew up in London, so there's an element of brainwashing that you get when you're from like a big city, that only these big cities can do it as well as, no one can do it as well as these big cities. It's a load of garbage. I wish I knew that earlier in life. So for the sake of this, we've got the masculine and the feminine. Yeah, it's cool. It's a really cool drawing. At least for me. What do you think? Poem, please. The crying baby outside maybe disagrees or agrees. Okay, so what was that restaurant about as well? Like, maybe there's something here to do with the way that you meet. Paraphrase, just like how I was talking about that restaurant. It was kind of unlikely, and I came across this place it wasn't on Google or anything like that. I had to walk and find it. So I feel like pile number 3's, might be how you're meeting your next lover, your new partner, or if you're in a relationship, this could possibly be how you're coming across your next, like, your next date with your couple, with your partner, or your next, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like an event, but like, like the next thing that you do together. Do you know what I'm getting at? Like maybe you're walking, you might be in a relationship and you walk in and you find something by chance, and you go home to your partner and go, okay, I found this today. Shall we check it out? It's that kind of energy. That might just be your update. And obviously that's going to be an awesome thing, otherwise you wouldn't be showing up in your pick a card now. So it's something that's absolutely by chance, but it's going to be one of those things which are like, oh wow, this is way better than I expected. It reminds me a little bit of, I done a hammam recently. Does anyone know what a hammam is? It's basically like a bit like a sauna, but it's like, I don't know if it's Middle Eastern or, I don't know, it kind of gives me Arab vibes. I don't know, hammam, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I did one of those recently, and I walked in there and I was like, what's going on here? Like, they got these sinks and you like pour hot water over yourself and stuff. I was like, I ain't sure about this. And then basically, I don't know, to be honest, I thought I wasted my money. But then when the masseuse person came in and gave me this, they call it a black soap. I don't know, I'm getting into some details here, but feel free to tap out if you want. But like, this is for my dudes too, like, self-love, man, like self-love. That's another thing which I wish I clocked onto earlier in life. So when this masseuse or whatever they're called gave me this black soap exfoliation scrub, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. that's when my money was really well spent. Um, but my point is, I walked out of there and I thought, you know what, that was money well spent. But when I went into there, I was like, damn, this, this is different to your hotel spa kind of vibe. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't sure about it. That's no disrespect to the hammam, because I'm sure you get really pretty hammams, like in really pretty venues. But this was, it was a bit basic. Do you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that might be something that you are. You might be like, what the hell is Zed talking about here with these damn hammams? And be curious on Google and go, what is a damn hammam? And you might just treat you and your partner, or just yourself. This might be especially a reading for one person who's just expressing their masculine and feminine energy, as we've got the mirror there. And you might go, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to a hammam too. And then I'm going to tell Zed in the comments, thank you for inspiring me to take a hammam. Don't ask me how you spell it. Hamam. That's laughing so much. I think it's because I I know I probably ain't pronouncing this thing right either. There's probably someone listening going, does he mean it is called a hammam, isn't it? Someone's out there going, it's actually humum. Or something like that. No, I think it's a hammam. It's a hammam. I keep on thinking of hummus now. It's not called a hummus. It's called a hammam. So, some of you might be listening to this and going, damn, you said this word so many times, I'm going to Google what the hell this is. And I'm getting myself a hammam too. I think part three is, this is something to do with the energy of this reading actually. I think we are talking about, because even if you think about the restaurant example that I kind of started rambling on at the start, they kind of both circle around some form of like treating yourself. And if you're in a relationship, I think this was probably one of my piles which was for the singles more, because the more that I look at this, the more I see one person and the masculine and feminine. And if you're kind of a female watching this, like literally, that's why I maybe rotated it to for you. It's literally just your masculine and feminine side. I feel like the key word of this reading, without a doubt, is kind of self-love and treating yourself energy. That's all that seems to have come out of my mouth since drawing this. So I think it's finding that balance of, yes, your feminine and masculine energy, but also, you know, I'm getting urged to tell you, pal threes, to explore more self-love, routines, ideas, methods, if I didn't say that. And you know, a good way to do it, sometimes what I do, is I just ask someone, you know, like, speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to people who you feel close enough to, and ask them like, so what do you do? You know, like when you've just had a long day, or you know when like things just get a little bit too much, what do you do? And see what comes out of their mouth, because they might come to you with some interesting things. And hopefully I just gave you two, which is have an exploration around your city. See if there's any shops, restaurants, cafes that you haven't checked out yet. And then look into different types of, like I said, hammams and different types of way that you can enjoy the idea of spa. You know, like there's more ways to enjoy spa treatments opposed to a jacuzzi or a sauna. That's what I've come to realize. Anyways, part threes, without rambling any longer, I hope that was useful for you. If it was, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.